Hello, hello. Welcome to a Quilon and Tier 3 Amiya video. So here we're going to be doing a Sniper Medic, and since the time I've published my guide and made some videos, some things have changed. Mainly that we've been able to optimize some things out, and some things are mandatory inclusions when we do Tier 3 Amiya. So the first and biggest change is that Ethan is no longer needed. He is still a good operator, but we don't need him anymore. And the main difference is that we are going to always want Milnar for Tier 3 Egg. He isn't that important for Tier 1 Egg, but for Tier 3 Egg, he serves an irreplaceable role. But let's first get into Quilon. So here we've started Quilon, and we're going to place down our operators like this. So it's important. So Monster is actually going to be used to tank Quilon. Instead of using Ethan to bind him in place on the top, we're going to use Milnar and Monster on the bottom to tank Quilon, and that way we don't need to actually bind him at all. In order for us to accomplish this, we need to know how the flowers will spawn, and the timings to make sure that the flowers spawn between Quilon punching. Because if Quilon gets to attack, normally the problem with blocking Quilon, right, is that when he auto attacks, he will cause the flowers that are around him to explode, or all the flowers on the map to explode. And if the flowers are above your ranged operators, that is very, very bad. Either way, so we heal the flowers on the top first. After that flower is gone, we retreat that spike. Now we're going to place the spike on below Rosmontis, and that will be its forever home. Another important thing to note is that because of Tier 3 Egg, the NVs hit way harder, and so we need to be very careful about that. It is important for us to make sure that our operators do not get hit by them, or rather our ranged operators don't. Gummy and Milnar and Monster are totally fine to get hit. Alright, so here Quilon is coming. And we're going to activate Monster skill preemptively. And now we block shift in with gravel, and boom. The reason why we block shift with gravel, or block with gravel, is to bait out the 5-hit combo. Quilon has a special skill where he will hit 5 times in a row. And this has a cooldown. Now, the 5-hit combo is basically unsurvivable by Milnar unless you get really good HP relics. And so what we do is we bait the 5-hit combo out with gravel, she takes it, and then we retreat gravel, and now Milnar can just take the normal auto attacks, and that's not problematic at all. We're going to do a boat jump here. A boat jump is a technique that we do on Quilon, and what it allows us to do is have Monster on both map 1 and map 2. The timing to execute this can be found on iCentral's website. So here we can see that enemies are coming in. Just keep activating skill to keep the stuff away. And now the boat is entering the blue box, and so we activate block. We wait for the pillar to block Quilon and then activate Milnar's skill. That's important. Now on this boat, you have to feed it immediately with Surfer. It's important to do that too. The timings for the boat feeds assures that our flowers are going to cycle properly, because the flowers spawn at set timings, and so we want to make sure that Monster is available to heal them instead of being stuck in her melee form. Alright. So here the boat is phasing. Boat is going into the blue box, and so we're going to get ready again. Milnar is not actually mandatory on Quilon in particular, but she does make it a bit easier. So here we're going to activate Monster, we're going to activate Milnar, and boom, he should get phased again. Milnar with just plus 100% HP is already enough to tank Quilon at base. So here on this boat, we'll want to feed it once on the left side range tile. And that buys us more time to heal those flowers that just spawned above Rosmontis+Wisadel. It's important that we get those ones so that they don't explode all over your flingers. Alright, one more round. Should activate Rosmontis now. We need to clear those mobs so that gravel blocks Quilon. Alright, gravel, bait that hit, boom. Alright, that's map 1 done, and now we go into map 2. Map 2 is very simple these days. Alright, let's do this. Jump him. It's important that we don't activate monster immediately. We want to place down Grey Altar and then place down activate monster, and that way monster takes aggro. Operators, when they move, count as being redeployed, and so monster here is considered by the game to be the last one deployed, and that way Grey Altar does not get hit. But yeah, Quilon goes down fairly easily. And now we're on to tier... Well, after that guy dies, we're on to tier 3 Egg Amiya. So tier 3 Egg Amiya is a bit more complicated than tier 1 Egg Amiya. And the requirements are slightly higher. The main differences between tier 1 and tier 3 Egg are map 1 and map 2, in that we have to actually deal with 2 bosses at once, and we also need to need good anti-air to deal with map 1. So there, you should definitely take the silence if you're playing not for a guide. I took the shield there because it has no effect on my gameplay. I want to bring a relatively low damage run as a showcase. Alright, so now we're going to swap out our operators. I got Innis here. Innis is not that important, but she is good. If you have a lot of hope, you might as well. And I figured that she would be a good showcase to show how to use her on map 1 in particular. Alright. Milnar's importance in tier 3 Egg can be summed up to 2 main things. The first is that he is the best tanky taunt body that you could possibly have, right? You place him down and everything targets him, and that's awesome. It keeps your squishy operators alive. And the second, more important usage is that he is also incredibly strong as a physical AoE anti-air. So here we use the Innis' 0 DP deployment to bounce the ball towards Amiya. Then we place down Innis again to start generating DP, and that's a very DP efficient way to open. Now we place down Milnar, Monster, Rosmontis. Milnar will now eat all the hits, so we're very safe. So those boss pillars, we want to keep them trapped in their pillars for as long as possible, so we're just going to keep bouncing these guys. It's important that we bounce the balls on the middle of that tile in front of the boss pillars. If we repeatedly do this, we will time it properly with how the boats are going to overlap with certain tiles. If you try to delay it too much, the boats will instead run over the tile just as you want to deploy your fast redeploys, and that's really bad. Either way, we're just going to hold and wait. There's going to be 3 boats that Milnar needs to kill. So you can see there, that boat was right above the tile, right? And if we had, for example, delayed the ball bounce each time, then the boat would be right over the tile that you want to bounce on. Okay, so those boats are coming. And the timing to activate Milnar is now. It's when those 3 boats go onto that column. You can do it a bit earlier or later. It's not a huge deal, but it's just a good guideline, visual guideline. Alright, just keep bouncing those balls. Now, every other enemy on the stage has been revealed now, except for the ones that are in that boss pillar row, and so we have to start popping them. And so here we go. The main thing is that the moment the boss pillars come out, we need to bounce those guys and bounce everything else behind them, right? Because we need to reveal it as fast as possible, especially since we don't have even to stall. You can see here that I'm using my operators and blocking Patriot, because Gray here will stall Quilon, but Patriot here is going to just run straight in with no form of CC. And so we wait for these guys to come in, and we're just going to stall. And now, boom, we should activate our skills. The cadences were slightly trolled by the stun relic that we had, but here the cadences move in, and now we kill. You can see that I deployed Cruise Altar to pillar the Pillar Patriot once. It's not that important. That let us get some extra time into DPS Patriot before he got away. I'm deploying Gravel here to speed up Milnar's redeployment time. I don't think it's necessary, but it's just a good thing to do. Okay, now map 2 is starting. So on map 2, we want to immediately place down Calcit in the bottom right corner like that. And if you see the civilian, immediately drop down monster for monster to tank. If you see the Imperial Striker, then just wait for Calcit to be released and then deploy monster. Remember that you have to keep on bouncing. You have to keep on bouncing Pheresis' pillar. So just keep your Gravel for that purpose exclusively. And now we're gonna have to get ready. So we place down Wisadel to charge her skill, and then boom, we deploy Project Red to stun and activate Wisadel. Then we use Milnar on that tile, and he will now tank everything for us. Bounce the ball pillar. We actually made a mistake here. You want to deploy Milnar facing up. That way he can hit Pheresis. But it's not a huge deal. We can fix it later. Aside from that, since Calcit permanently stalls Manfred, we have our second fast redeploy available to handle the rest of the map and bounce everything and reveal everything. And so we're just doing that to accelerate the map a little. We don't need to because the timer is fairly generous, but it's best to do so anyways because who wants to spend more time on this map, right? Right, so everything is coming in. And now we have to get ready to burst down Pheresis. We don't have anything to slow him down, and so we're just going to burst it down with Wisadel and Cruise Altar. Normally you'd activate Milnar, right? But we can't really do that. So yeah, we're just gonna burst things down now. And if your Wisadel has more damage relics than mine, then it's not a problem. But mine doesn't have many, and so we're just going to have to kind of supplement the damage of Cruise Altar. Alright, hit it. There we go. Alright, that's map 1 and map 2 done. And now we go into map 3. Map 3 is fairly simple. It plays exactly the same as Tier 1 Egg because the enemies and everything are exactly the same. The only difference is that because of the Tier 3 Egg attack buff, it is more important than ever that you properly Cal stall at the end. But and also the timer is shorter, and so you have to be really cautious of that. Alright, so let's get started. We got the free ball spawn, and so we're just going to place down Monster, and we're going to place down Surfer. Since Surfer has negative taunt, we're able to abuse that by deploying Monster Spike after her, and that lets the Spike take aggro, and so Surfer generates DP for free. Now, this ball, we bounced it earlier, but now we're going to let Juggernaut come out, and immediately when he comes out, we're going to place down Milnar to bounce the ball up to Rosmontis. And Milnar is facing up here, so that he can hit everything. Yeah, we're gonna activate monster here once, and this is to kill Juggernaut as fast as possible. He is quite tanky. Alright. Now it's time to get ready for the rest of the enemies to come out. We placed down Calcit already, and that's to preemptively get ready for when the balls spawn. So the balls are spawning now, and we're going to use Calcit to block Lackerman. We need to keep her up there. And for Calcit, just deploy whatever. You probably won't be able to tank her, and so you'll want to deploy Wisdel like this to burst her down. It's not a big deal either way. And now everything except Amiya is dead. From here, it's fairly simple, right? We stall until we hear Amiya start her Taliban sound. And once she does that, we phase her, and then we're done, basically. The reason why we want to phase her when she begins her Taliban skill is so that she resets her SP. Because if you don't do this, then when she dies, she'll carry over her SP into the next her next phase, and then she might immediately start her Taliban skill. So just do this and play it safe. So yeah, we're just hitting it and we're gonna wait. You can imagine that Gummy isn't actually that important for this clear. You could have just deployed Gravel or an agent and it would do the exact same thing. But hey, Gummy's convenient. And you'll have her. Alright, I heard the Taliban sound, and so we activate monster and boom. Now, our Gummy is actually fairly bulky and would be able to tank Amiya, but normally she can't, right? And so we'll play like she can't. So here we're just baiting all the nuke attacks. And now we retreat. We place down Calcit, we place down Monster, and we win. Calcit will permanently stall the blue blocks. No balls can touch Amiya, and so she cannot do her nuke attack anymore. And so we can just slowly kill her. Don't waste too much time though. The timer is still shorter than normal. And that's the stage. I hope you guys enjoyed.